Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking to you about Diwali, one of the most famous festivals in India. The book that I will be reading from is by Wilco Picture Library. Listen on to hear the amazing story of Diwali. The children tumbled out of the school bus in a great hurry and raced each other down the lane. It was that time of the year again. The school had just closed for their Diwali vacation. This was one festival that was really special because everyone celebrated it together. The best part was lighting the firecrackers, which they did in the Maidan, with parents supervising, of course. "I love the annas," said Mohini, referring to the ones that burst into a glorious fountain. "I'm going to get only those. I hate the loud bombs." "Those are only for boys anyway," replied Ranga. "Oh really?" That was Geeta, flaring up at Ranga's superior attitude. "But I remember last year when Pithu's uncle was lighting a bomb, you ran all the way back to your house and did not come out till next morning." "No way! That's a lie!" protested Ranga. Luckily, the argument was forgotten as they came upon the vendors who had now set up stalls in Chittalawedi and selling everything from paper lanterns, earthen lamps and rangoli colours as well as firecrackers. The children oohed and ahed as the lantern seller opened up the folded paper lanterns to show their lovely shapes and colours. The excitement of Diwali was really building up now. Later that evening, some lanterns and oil lamps were already being lit in Chittalawedi to welcome Diwali. The children strolled through the lanes, admiring the lanterns and stopping to rekindle the oil lamps that had been blown out by the breeze. Mohini and Geeta had gone off to practice making rangoli outside the doorway to Mohini's house. It was a little tricky as you had to hold just a pinch of powder and release it evenly over the floor to make the beautiful patterns. Ranga saw what they had made and was inspired enough to make a rangoli of a jet plane at his house. "This is ridiculous," the girls exclaimed when they saw it. "No one makes jet plane rangolis." "I do," replied Ranga defiantly. The girls sniggered and ran off. Pithu's mother had come over to learn how to make chakli from Mai, Ranga's mother. It was a spicy, crunchy snack made of a mixture of flours. Pithu loved it and had insisted she make it for him this Diwali. She stopped to admire Ranga's effort and said, "How about making a trail of smoke from the plane that says Happy Diwali?" Ranga was electrified by the suggestion and got busy again. "Diwali is my favourite festival," he declared, and then demanded to know what the story of Diwali was. The women were busy, but they did not want to disappoint the lad. Mai suggested that he get his friends together at someone's house each day of Diwali, and one of the elders would explain the significance of that particular day. Ranga was delighted and rushed off to tell the others about this plan. Finally, the great day dawned. It was Dhanteras, the first day of Diwali. The children had been rushing about all day, sampling the delicious treats in each other's homes. That afternoon, they all converged at Venkatesha's house. Amma had decorated the doorway beautifully with garlands and oil lamps and a large rangoli made of a mixture of coloured powders and marigold petals. "Let me wish all of you Subh Deepavali." Deepa means lamp and Avali is a row, and as you can see, it is a festival of lights that is celebrated all over India. We hang large paper lanterns on the main doorway and also make rangolis. These are usually patterns of flowers and leaves, geometric shapes. See, "We told you, Ranga, no one makes jet planes," Sita said to Ranga. "Amma, aren't boys allowed to make jet planes and car designs?" Amma could not help smiling. "Well, as long as the rangoli is made in the spirit of celebration, any design should be alright." Ranga whooped in delight and shook his fist at Sita in victory. Amma continued, "Although it is a Hindu festival, everyone joins in, especially to burst crackers. Diwali is a 5-day festival, and today is the first day, called Dhanteras or Dhanayatarayodashi. It is believed that Goddess Lakshmi comes into our homes, and we keep the doors and windows wide open to welcome her. Women buy something new, gold or silver coins, or at least a new utensil." "Why is that, Amma?" asked Chaitanya. "Well, as this story goes, King Hima had a 16-year-old son whose horoscope said he would die of a snake bite on the 4th day after his marriage. After he was married, his young wife decided she would not allow fate to defeat her. On the 4th night, she arranged a heap of gold and silver coins at the doorway to their bedchamber and piled her jewelry on top of it as well. Then she lit thousands of oil lamps all around. It was a beautiful sight as the coins and jewelry reflected the glow of the oil lamp. Late that night, Yama, the Lord of Death, arrived, disguised as a snake, but the glow dazzled him and he could not move. Then the brave young woman began to sing bhajans in a sweet voice. Her singing was so beautiful that the snake remained rooted to the spot, listening and swaying to the music. Before they knew it, it was dawn and the fateful night had passed. The snake went away and the young prince had been saved. That is why we buy a gold or silver coin for Dhanteras. In gratitude to Lord Yama for his mercy, oil lamps are lit tonight." Amma had made murukkus, which were fabulously crunchy snacks, and Mysore Pak, a sweet dish they all loved. The children thanked her for the treat and rushed off to the Maidan to light firecrackers. The next day, the venue was Ranga's place. The children could hardly wait for Mai to get the large trays of snacks out for them, chaklis, chida and laddus. Ranga was on his best behavior and even gave Deepu an extra laddu. Mai smiled at them and said, "Today is Narak Chaturdasi or Chota Diwali. It is celebrated with great joy in Maharashtra. Ranga had to get up very early today and I smeared him with uptan, a fragrant powder mixed with gram flour and made into a paste with oil. After his bath, he broke a bit of fruit called kharik. Then he had a sumptuous breakfast of 5 different types of pohe before he rushed off to wake all of you up to burst crackers. Now I will tell you why he did all those things. Long ago, there was a demon king in Pragjayotishpur called Narakasura. He defeated Indra in a fiercely fought battle and proceeded to steal the earrings of the goddess Aditi. Not content with that, he kidnapped 16,000 women from Indra's kingdom as well. Satyabhama, the wife of Lord Krishna, was also the cousin of goddess Aditi. She was furious when she heard what had happened and asked Krishna to make her strong enough to fight Narakasura. Krishna agreed, and he also offered to drive her chariot so that he could guide and protect her in this fight. With his help, Satyabhama beheaded the demon king easily. Krishna smeared Narakasura's blood on his forehead, symbolizing his victory. He also released the 16,000 women who had been kidnapped. When he got home, the women smeared scented oil and bathed him to get the filth off his body. In a similar act, we have a special bath this morning to wash the filth and grime of our past actions and begin anew. The bitter fruit Ranga crushed symbolized the defeat of the demon king Narakasura. The children were fascinated by the story and could not wait to find out what the tales for the rest of the days were. The next day was the real Diwali day. They had met up at the Maiden early in the morning to burst some crackers and then spent the day wishing each other and receiving gifts from their elders. That evening, they all wore new clothes and went to Deepu's house for Lakshmi Puja. The house was gaily lit and there was an air of celebration and joy. Many of his uncles, aunts and cousins had come too, and Deepu was showing off the cricket bat his favourite uncle had bought for him. Deepu's mother called out to them, and as she went about arranging the altar for the goddess, she explained, "Today we worship the goddess of wealth, Lakshmi. We thank her for her bounty and keep her happy so she will keep giving us more," she said, grinning light-heartedly. Lakshmi Puja has to be performed in a very particular manner. First, we clean our houses thoroughly, as a goddess does not like to come to a dirty place. Then Lord Ganesha is worshipped, as he is the god of auspicious beginnings. Goddess Lakshmi is worshipped in her three forms: Mahalakshmi, the goddess of wealth; Mahasaraswati, the goddess of learning; and Mahakali, the destroyer of demons. The children now stood together with Deepu's parents and the rest of his family. Everyone joined in the Lakshmi Puja. Offerings of sweets, coconuts and fruits were made to the goddess and then distributed as prasad. Later, Deepu's father took the children to the Maidan to light some more firecrackers. As they walked past all the houses of Chittalawedi, Deepu's father explained that today was the day Lord Rama had returned to Ayodhya after defeating Ravana in Lanka. The people of Ayodhya had welcomed their prince by lighting his path with oil lamps. It was to celebrate the victory of good over evil and to usher in a time of joy and prosperity that Diwali was celebrated. The next day was the beginning of the new year for many families in Chittalawedi. The children gathered together at Pittu's place that evening. Pittu's mother told them that New Year's Day was also called Annakut, meaning mountain of food. Ranga immediately demanded to know where the mountain was. Pittu's mother smiled and tweaked his ear, saying, "Well, you will find it in Mathura and Nathdwar for sure. On this day, the deities are bathed in milk and dressed up in the finest clothes and jewellery. Then all kinds of sweets are arranged in the shape of a mountain in front of the deity, and after the puja, that the devotees help themselves to some of the sweets. I have made a small mountain for you children." To their delight, she brought a small mound of laddus, delicately balanced on a square base of barley. They children whooped in delight and attacked the sweets with great relish. "I wish we had a festival like this every week," sighed Chaitanya. That evening, they burst the last of their stash of firecrackers. As the last one was lit, Chaitanya announced forlornly that Diwali was almost over. "Tomorrow is Bhaubij," announced Ranga. "It is a day for brothers and sisters like Raksha Bandhan. I'm going to go and visit my cousin, Jyoti, and celebrate it with her. I will give her a gift, but I've made a special one for her." "What is it?" asked everyone. They all begged him to tell them, but he didn't. He was firm and said, "All right, it's a jet plane and it has a blue streak on the end," and everyone burst out laughing. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you next time too. See you then!